Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 123, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 122 was the Royal Rumble and TakeOver Phoenix review. We covered both events, including full results, all matches, news, notes, promos, and everything of the ilk, fallout, and much more. But now we're moving on. Big stuff is happening this week, and before we get to the topic of the show here, what's up, folks? We said a few hellos at the beginning of the event here. Glad you are with us. Thank you for hanging out, Miss Lopez. The show cannot begin without Miss Lopez. I have a few key folks, and you all are awesome. Don't misunderstand me. I have a few names I look for. Miss Lopez is one of them. Keith, another one. Somewhere Jim is hanging out. Hopefully Jim will be around if he's not here already. We've got a good amount of viewers right now. Sound good? So we got a lot to talk about, man. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Yes, Ray, of course. Can't forget Ray. Ray. Okay? That's what I'm calling you from now on, Ray. So, hey, listen, just as a side comment here, folks, everyone that sends me instant messages and stuff, if I'm not answering, please do not take that personally, okay? I mean, no disrespect by it. Sometimes it takes me a day, sometimes more to finally. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I just got a lot on my plate. It's not an excuse. It is. I got to do better at it. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for a second. Thank you all for saying your positive comments, your encouragement. It means a lot to me. It may not seem like much to you. It's a little something from you. But, dude, it means the world to me, so I do greatly appreciate it. Dave in Ohio, what's up? Okay, so hello in Myrtle Beach, Jason. What's up? I haven't been to Myrtle Beach in 2 years. It's been a while. We used to go every year, and then I kind of burned the place out. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go ahead and talk. People are already asking about what's going on. Let's do this, all right? This time, the main event is AEW, The Undertaker, and WWE. And it's not that all three have anything in common other than they all take place in wrestling rings. It's not that any of them connected. It's just the news of the week, news of the day. Miss Lopez said it best. A lot of people are saying it right now. We're going to jump into it. AEW had the Double or Nothing rally last night in Las Vegas. We have news and notes in case you missed it. Let's run down real quick, shall we? The event kicked off with a New Jersey wrestler named Sonny Kiss, who I honestly I don't know this guy. Apparently, he started working Lucha Underground long after I stopped watching Lucha. He is going to be at Double or Nothing. I assume this means he's joined the roster. Let's see. Cody came out, said it felt like a revolution in Las Vegas. He talked about getting tickets. Hangman Page came out. Hangman Page calling himself the Ace. Someone referred to him as going to be the Ace of All Elite Wrestling. A video from Pac showed up, so you got to believe that these two guys are going to work at the event. Don't know if AEW's World Championship will be in the mix or not. It's as of yet unannounced. The Young Bucks came out. They were interrupted. They actually introduced the Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Barreto. Very cool to see those guys there. They're good workers, good team. I like them. The Lucha Brothers. A lot of people are talking about this. The rumors that Pentagon and Ray Phoenix were going to come in. They are. They've signed a contract with AEW, and they've got some room to maneuver. They can work other places if they so choose. And it's not like an exclusive contract from my understanding. So they laid them out. They took them down. So that was pretty cool. Pentagon gave Nick Jackson the package pile driver on the apron. and the kick super kick man off the ramp. Big deal. It's a very big deal. The great team, of course. Brandy Rhodes came out, had the entire crowd chant happy birthday for her brother. Cool moment. She announced that Japanese up-and-comer Yuka Sakazaki is joining AEW, and also confirmed Asia Kong. Dude, she's legendary in Japan, for real. She's coming to AEW. Also announced Kylie Ray is going to be part of AEW. That's a big deal, of course. Nyla Rose was also introduced. It looks like those two are probably going to work at Double or Nothing. SoCal Uncensored came out, did what they do best. They actually brought out, along with Excalibur, they brought out the representatives from OEW, the Chinese wrestling promotion. I don't know a lot about it. I'm trying to research it. So sorry if I'm not answering right now, folks. My apologies. I'm just getting through the results here. But that was a big deal. SEMA was there, legendary. If you don't know SEMA's work, man, look it up. It's good stuff. Daniels said he wanted SEMA to find two of his best guys. They're going to be a 6-man tag at Double or Nothing. Can't wait for that one. And then the announcement that everyone believed was going to happen actually happened. Kenny Omega, the Best Bout Machine, has indeed signed with All Elite Wrestling. He is their top guy now, I assume, or he will be when the thing actually kicks off. It's a very big deal. But, of course, Omega was interrupted by Chris Jericho. So we are renewing the rivalry. That's a big deal. Mark says, is even AEW going to get a TV deal without any establishment? Absolutely, Mark. The scuttlebutt that I am being told right now is that they're currently negotiating with, I think it's, a lot of people are saying 2. I'm being told it's 3 networks that they're talking to right now. One of those networks is reportedly, don't quote me on this because I don't know this for a fact. This is just me talking to you guys. Supposedly one of those networks is TBS. So to imagine that a brand new pro wrestling company would get a TV deal on a network, on a Turner network, that's a big deal, man. I mean, that throws back all sorts of flashbacks and moments to WCW and NWA, obviously. It's a big thing. Supposedly the deal is a lot more lucrative. It's the best TV deal that anyone has had in the business since WCW. That's not WWE, put it that way. If listen, again, all this is scuttlebutt right now. We have confirmed nothing. They're playing it close to the vest, and they should. It's a smart move. Have no leverage if you go around telling everybody everything and everyone you're talking to and everything you're doing. You get no leverage at all, right? So Ricardo says he hopes it is TBS. Mark does, yes, TBS does have NBA. TNT for sure, NBA on TNT. Let's see, the show's going to be on pay-per-view. I'm assuming, yes, Joseph, it will. I also assume that it will be available on the Fight TV, the Fight app. I would, that's my guess. That would probably be how I will watch it. I'm assuming since these guys are not working with Ring of Honor, it will not be on Ring of Honor's Honor Club app, which is usually how I watch stuff. But Fight TV, I watched the NWA event on there. They had issues with some of the streaming, but it picked up okay. But yeah, so I assume Fight TV will have it. Miss Lopez brings up a great point. We're talking about AEW. Randy Orton open to talk. Man, that's made all the headlines, hasn't it? Randy Orton supposedly open. Here's the thing about All Elite Wrestling right now, folks. It doesn't matter who you are, what level of the business you are, whether you work for Vince or TNA or whoever's out there, New Japan or whoever. The minute the AEW came into being and became a real, actual, living, breathing thing, or at least on the way to becoming that, basically you're going to go to AEW. I mean, right? Basically, that's what everyone said. Oh, you know what? That guy go to AEW. Oh my God, he should just go because it's so much better. I don't know if any of that's going to happen. At 1 minute, everyone's reporting that the Revival had asked for their release. The next minute, no, that's bogus. It didn't happen. The next minute is, yes, it absolutely did happen. That's why all of a sudden they have something to do on TV now because Vince wants to keep them around. The thing, and I've talked about this with you guys before. The only thing I can do is give you my analysis. That's what I can do for you. Yes, I've got people that tell me stuff. Yes, I can ask around. I can. But at the same time, I'll be straight with you guys every single time. I'm not going to work my audience. I don't do that crap, all right? But I can analyze this stuff and give you my best take. And here's my best take. None of us are behind the curtain. None of us. From the most seasoned of us to the guy that's just starting out today, none of us have access behind the curtain. And if we do, unless you're talking to a member of the McMahon family, you might be getting fed false information or information that it's not even real, doesn't even exist. I don't know. So I would keep that stuff in mind. Davey, what's up? Welcome to the show, my friend. Corey just mentioned Dean Ambrose. So Ambrose is leaving. We talked about this last week. I don't think it's a work. I just don't. There's certain people on Twitter that I'm not going to give free press to. One of them is adamant that it's a work. I just don't believe it is. I don't think he's being given anything to do for a reason. I think that there's every possibility he's going to work Nia Jax at WrestleMania, and that's how they send Dean out, is on his back, staring up at the lights. It's my guess. It's my speculation. You can take that and run with it and tell all your friends that Tom's lost his mind. The beard has gotten to his brain or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do is fine, but that's just how I feel right now. I think all signs point to Nia Jax versus Dean Ambrose. Not saying I want it to happen. I don't at all. Randall, what's up, my friend? Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I don't want it to happen. I'm not a fan of it at all. Danny says Dean Ambrose did everything possible. Besides main event WrestleMania, absolutely, Danny. Can't disagree with that at all. Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's a very interesting time. It's a fun time to be a fan, and it's even more entertaining and more fun time, because I can't say fun. I don't think it's a freaking word, man. To be a writer in this business, because I got lots of stuff to write about. I got to be honest with you, man. There was a lot of lean years there when there wasn't much happening out there in the pro wrestling world, dude. And to be honest about it, sometimes I'd be struggling to find topics to write about. I ain't got to worry about that stuff now, man, for sure. Let's see. Aaron going nuts on me. All about WWE. Jericho would fit in AEW. Well, you know, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But I don't think anything's all about one company. If it was, then we wouldn't be talking about a lot of other companies right now. Just my take. Mark says, like to see Triple H versus Dean at Mania. Yeah, for sure, but then that puts the ixnay on Triple H versus Batista, which I believe is still a possibility. Of course, Dave would have to get things worked out around his Hollywood schedule. I don't know if that could happen, but to your point, that's probably the next best match. But Dean's not winning. If Dean's on his way out, he's not going over. That's not how they do business. Miss Lopez, I agree with you 100%. Yes, Corey, the Superstar Shakeup is happening April 15th and 16th. I would expect, this is my take, I would fully expect Superstar Shakeup to be exactly that, a serious shakeup, folks, because as we all know, SmackDown Live is heading to Fox in 2019 this year, and I think in September, October, somewhere along in there, I believe. And you know that network is going to want the heavy hitters. Don't be surprised if some big names go to SmackDown. I wouldn't be surprised if Ronda was one of those names. That depends on even if she's going to be around. A lot of speculation about that. We don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if Brock went to SmackDown. I wouldn't be shocked if... I mean, we're talking big names, folks. I think WWE is going to have to do something, I don't know about drastic, but I don't know what the expectation is from Fox in terms of ratings. But I can tell you right now that supposedly right now SmackDown's doing about half of what Fox wants it to do, something of that nature. I don't know if that's true or not. I think they would have to be realistic about this. But however, they've paid this company $1 billion. They paid WWE $1 billion to make this deal happen. I just don't know if they're going to get what they're expecting, what they thought they were going to get. About or SmackDown feud with Bryan, I agree with that, Harry, 100%. Could Batista show up at Flair's birthday? Sure. Never know, man. What's up, Mitchell? What's up, my friend? I don't think Nia is good enough to deserve the spotlight to fight. Man, every guy wrestles way more talented, even Hawkins. Isaac, I'm with Isaac on this one. I said last week I don't agree with it. Doesn't mean I don't see it happening. I wish I was wrong. I don't agree with it at all. To your point, I don't think she's good enough either. Danny says, God no, Brock to SmackDown, he would never be there. He's never on Raw, dude. What's the difference, honestly? And Brock goes where the money is. If they told him, hey, you're going to go to SmackDown, SmackDown's going to be on Fox. I don't think he'd have a problem with that at all. I wouldn't. Just pay me. Pay me, baby. You know, that's what he's coming from right now. Mark says, I think if Raw went back to 2-hour segment, it would bring ratings up and keep it more interesting. Here's the thing, Mark. I know everybody and their brother talks about Raw's too long. Oh, Raw's so boring. I'm not saying that, you. But yeah, 3-hour show, I get it. But dude, they're getting a lot of money to be 3 hours. Okay? A lot of freaking money to be 3 hours. And I know you're sacrificing quality over time. I get it. And that sucks, especially when NXT's a tight 1-hour program. And it's, like I said, it's tight, man. And it's well-paced. It's action-packed. I just don't see WWE going back to 2 hours on Raw. That's just my take. Jeff, to your point, if and when Bray does come back, it needs to be during the Superstar Shakeup, in my opinion. I'm with you, completely with you on that. Hawkins and Ryder win tag belts at WrestleMania kickoff. Mitch, I want to see the Revival with the belts before I will see anyone else with them. And listen, folks, keep something in mind. We all talk about championships and titles as if they really mean something, and they do to a certain extent, depending on who you're talking about, who's getting the things, or laying down, or hand them to the next team or next wrestler or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think respect means a lot more. I think quality of the storyline means a lot more to these men and women. I can't speak for all of them, obviously, can't for any of them. But that's my guess. Yes, the trophy's nice to have. Yes, the belt's nice to have around your waist. At the end of the day, how much does it really matter to them? Only they could answer that. That's how I'm looking at it. So, Finn with Intercontinental Championship, it's entirely possible. Yes, for sure. All right, folks. So let's get and we can come back to AEW anytime you guys want. How are we feeling? We'll wrap it up and move on and come back to it if you want. How are we feeling about Omega Jericho 2? Jericho, and I just wrote this piece, it'll publish this weekend. The whole deal is that Jericho, if you remember, we talked about it here on the show too, the day after the first rally, Jericho's on his podcast, and man, he's putting over the fact that he takes this stuff very seriously. It's his responsibility. They're paying him this money. They're bringing him in at this elite level, no pun intended. And he's got to deliver. And man, it's I this and I that. And I have to do. And when I heard that, I was like, man, dude, is he going to be the top guy? Like, I don't know if I saw that coming. And all of a sudden, here comes Omega to sort of rain on his parade. And now in retrospect, I think that entire podcast was done by design in terms of Chris's tone. That's me talking. I think maybe there was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, keep your mouth shut. But I think I'm going to sign with AEW. I'm just throwing it out there. You can take that and run with it, or just tell me I've lost my mind. It's fine. But I wouldn't be surprised if that had been maybe not planned, but figured out ahead of time. So now everyone knows what it meant to Chris to be the top guy, and now here comes Omega. So now egos are going to get damaged, and of course he supposedly hates him, which we all know is nonsense. It's whatever. It's a work, but going to be interesting to see how this feud plays out. So, it's Kota Ibushi going with Omega. So Mark, so the deal with Ibushi has always been that he does not have like an ironclad New Japan contract. That's what I've been told from day one, is that supposedly he doesn't like, okay, I'm in New Japan, here's my New Japan contract, New Japan logo at the top, I've signed my name, it goes to here's your money. He doesn't have that. I'm not saying it's a handshake agreement, but it's something along those lines where it's not an ironclad, full-time, holy God, you work for us and that's it contract. He doesn't really have that. He's given the freedom to move around and about. Having said that, would he be in AEW? I would love to see him at least appear in AEW. I think that would be tremendous. The guy's amazing. I knew this about him long before he ever blew up in the Cruiserweight Classic. I knew the guy before then. And dude, I was just blown away. He's so good. He's so good. And I know it's dynamic. I know it's acrobatic stuff. And and I have problems with that too, to a certain extent. No one can deny how good that guy is in the ring. The Usos really not going to leave WWE inside with Okay, so another rumor, folks, Brandon just pointed out that the Usos contract is up in April, supposedly, and that they are thinking about making the jump. Here's the thing about the Usos, man. That's a huge family, okay? I think if they decided to let their contract run out and chose not to re-sign, if they left on good terms, I don't see any reason in the world why they couldn't if they wanted to. And I don't know why anyone at WWE would harbor an ill will towards them. And they shouldn't, because they've done everything asked of them. They took a promising tag team career that started off great in the beginning and full of promise, and it tanked, and they were lousy and just awful. Call a spade. Just awful. Just wasn't working. And they managed to come back from that. And man, they became what they are today. And kudos to them for doing it, because they sort of, snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, as it were. For real. So I don't know if there's any truth behind them looking elsewhere. Would I be surprised? No. But you got to believe WWE is going to do everything they can to hang on to the talent they have today. Corey says the last tournament. You talking about Worlds Collide? You didn't enjoy the tournament? I love the tournament. I'm just saying. That's me talking. I don't know if you and I are on the same page or not, but I enjoyed it. Seems like AEW is signing. I missed your comment. My apologies, man. I'm so sorry I missed your comment there. My apologies. Will Cody be allowed to get a push with his position in AEW? It's Cody's company, Larry. to your point, it's Cody's company, man. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. I'm not saying that because it doesn't mean he's going to necessarily book the whole thing, but I think he'll be one of the primetime players, and he should be. It's one of those moments where he should be. I'm not suggesting he's going to be like his dad and book himself in all the main events. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, yeah, he'll be a part of the show, in my opinion, for sure. What else we got here? Is this the guy that, yeah, there's a guy, yeah, well, I don't really have anything to say about him at all. So, yeah. And as far as me being connected to the inner circle, no one said I was connected to the inner circle. Someone's unhappy with us today, folks. We're all happy and having a good time, and someone has to be a ne'er-do-well. That's what he's doing, but it's okay. Life goes on. Perfectly fine. Have your opinion. You can have yours all day long. Okay, so let's get to the second thing of the day. Let's talk about the dead man. So The Undertaker has removed all references to WWE from his social media accounts. Now, I know what you're saying. Why does the dead Undertaker mortician zombie guy have social media? It's a good question. I've always wondered that myself, to be honest with you. Yeah, Mark, for sure. So here's the thing. Just because he removed references to WWE does not necessarily mean he's gone. It could have been a conversation, and listen, I'm just throwing this out there to you. It could be a conversation was had behind the scenes. Maybe he didn't like what he was told. Maybe they didn't like what he said. It could just be one of those things where it's like, okay, so I want to come back. I want to do this, and he's like, we don't really want you to do this. We want you to do this, and he's like, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. That's my take on it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's over and that we're never going to see Mark Calloway as Undertaker again. He's got some appearances happening in the UK in April and May, I believe. It's not necessarily like, and he's not going to be in the ring that I know of. It's going to be like a spoken word tour at some point and like appearing at an event or whatever. So the fact that it's not happening in the States is kind of important, in my opinion, because it gives you the knowledge that, he's not trying to trample on his own character here in WWE. Yeah, Matt. All right. To Matt's point, he's done it before, just marketing himself. I think that's fine. To Davey's point, he's getting old, but Davey, to be fair, we all are, my friend, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know that there's too much about this. I wrote a column about it this week. It's on Wrestling Rumors. You're feel free to check it out, please, and thank you. Where I expanded on every possibility that this could be. I didn't sound the alarm and said, "Oh my God, it's over." I just said, well, what happens if it is? What could he do now? What's the possibility? I don't think I mentioned AEW at all because it's in my opinion, of all the things that are possible, I just don't see that. Of course, I've been wrong before. I'm not pitching the idea to you, but I think that anything's possible. It's pro wrestling, man. Right? Andy says, Taker being gone isn't necessarily a bad thing. Should have stopped when he laid his hat down, put him in the Hall of Fame, enjoy his legacy. I'm sorry. I agree with Andy. AJ says, making 25 grand for me. That's the scuttlebutt, is that it's 25 grand to book this guy. So if anyone's got 25 grand lying around and you want Taker to show up for like a 10-year-old's birthday party, he's your guy. Okay. And I hear he makes a good balloon dinosaur. So you're all set. He does magic tricks. He's got the smoking stuff, man. He can do that and lightning comes down and hit the cake and set the whole table on fire. You can't buy that kind of entertainment from Bubbles the Clown down the road, man. Remember, for your kid's birthday, if you want the best and quality kid's birthday entertainment, remember The Undertaker, the undead mortician. He's your guy. He's the best in the business. He's in the Yellow Pages. Look him up. Look him up. He'll be there. He's got he drives Gravedigger, the big monster truck. Or it's a hearse. I could have went with hearse. That would have made more sense, right? Okay, so what about Ambrose? Devin's going nuts. We talked about Ambrose already. You missed it. You don't get caught up because you were late. I'm playing. It's okay. The Dean thing, I don't know. I gave you my take. I'll give it to you again. I think Dean's on his way out. I think he's done. I don't think this is a work. However, I do think there's every possibility that they could iron out something for a new contract, but I can't swear to that. I do believe that at some point he's going to work Nia Jax and he'll lose to her. That's my take. It's just my opinion. Take it and run with it or don't. Entirely up to you. I think Kane and Undertaker should be inducted in the same year. Mitchell, yes, I'm with you on that. Yeah, Mark, thank you. Move on. So, so don't anyone get too bent out of shape over the Undertaker thing. I think it's a possibility that maybe he's done, but you know what? We've been saying that for 5-10 years now about Taker. We'll see. What if he would go to Impact? He did Ms. Lopez brings up a great point. What if he goes to Impact? Well, I don't know. Interesting. I don't think he needs to go anywhere. I think he should enjoy his retirement. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something, man. A wrestler's a wrestler. That's it. And you know what? I was going to call him a hustler, and I don't mean that negatively at all. It's not meant to be negative. It's just, once it gets in your blood and it's your way of life, it's what you know how to do. You don't want to stop. It's not necessarily an addiction. It's just, this is what you do. I mean, just imagine you're very good at your job. You've done it for 30 years. And then someone comes along and says, you can't do that anymore. Why? I want to. It's what I love to do. I mean, that's where he is. I mean, I don't know. Who am I to tell him he can't do something, right? I don't know. It's kind of a complicated situation, in my opinion. Corey asked if there's any word on Roman Reigns. No, Corey, I got nothing for you on Roman. Let's see. Heard Dean Ambrose getting a divorce from Renee Young. What? That's nuts. I've never heard anything like that. Hey, listen, whatever their personal lives are, it's their business, not mine. That's for sure, baby. Dreamer in the Hall of Fame this year. I'd be okay with that. I like Tommy. I do. Don't know when Bray's coming back. We talked about that. Maybe the Superstar Shakeup April 15th and 16th. Let's see. We'll see. How about that? Don't know about the Hall of Fame, man. I don't have any great predictions for you. You would have to think, what I've heard is that the Hart Foundation together, not just Brett and Jim, but Brett, Jim, Bulldog, Pillman, all of them as a unit. That's what I heard. We'll see. Andy brings up a good point. Wouldn't be able to use the Undertaker name. I don't know. I don't know what sort of deal he has with Vince. You would say Andy's right, and that Taker can't use the name because it's copyrighted and trademarked by WWE. You would assume so. But I don't know. I don't know what sort of deal he has with him. You know what I mean? Maybe he's got license to use it for personal appearances, but he can't use it in the ring. I don't know. I'm just speculating, just throwing it out there to you. Andy says China. Sure. Owen, yeah. Oh, my God, I forgot about Owen as a member of the Hart Foundation. Jeez. It's the gray. I told you the beard's corrupting the brain. Yeah, do it. Get out there. Do it. Make it happen. It's overtime. It's past time. And this could be how they do it. This could be how they get Owen in. It's not like a focus on the case. And I hate to be that way, but you know they don't want to get back into that. I'm just being honest about it. I don't say I don't agree. I don't agree with it at all. Just throwing it out there to you. Jason's late. Jeez. Yeah, we kicked off with AEW and the Undertaker. You got to get up to speed, baby. We're churning right along here, man. Taker in Hall of Fame this year. Interesting. You would think that when it happens, he'll lay it down, but we thought he's laid it down already, right? Is Becky actually hurt, or is she just playing the next women's song? No. Supposedly, Lynch's injury is a work. That's what I've heard. Her injury is a work. I don't know. We'll see. But that supposedly it's all a work. They're keeping her off TV and they're not sending her to house shows. She's red hot and you're not going to send her to house shows? It's crazy. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't think I like McAfee. McAfee? He's over the top and he's entertaining, and that's fine. For me, for my own personal taste, it's too much. It takes away from it. And just as much as Corey Graves, when he goes off on a rant where he loves every heel on the planet, that takes away too. Both extremes take away from me. I can't speak for you or anyone else. That's just me talking. Whether or not Rousey's leaving, I don't know. Supposedly she wants a break. She's earned it. Goodness knows she's earned it. She's had a great year. But whether or not she's going to get it or when she chooses to take it, I don't know. So we have spent the first 30 minutes of the show talking AEW and Undertaker. We can always go back to those subjects if you want to. We can also talk about some WWE. That's the third part of this program, folks. I figure we can spend the last 30 minutes talking about that. Aaron wants to know if there are any rumors of Briscoe brothers going to AEW. I'd love to see that happen. I love Jay and Mark. Jay's got questionable past. They've both said dumb things, that I object to, but they're human like we all are. That's just a side comment for you. I love them as a team. I love them as wrestlers. They don't look it. You use the word polish with Briscoes and it doesn't work. They're polished. You know what I'm saying? Got a rhythm. So good together in the ring. Top notch, fantastic. So I'd love to see them do it. But here's the thing. At this time, I don't believe AEW has a working relationship with Ring of Honor, and it probably will not. That's just me speculating on that. They've got the AAA deal going to happen. The OWE is going to happen. They might have another partnership along the way. I don't know for sure, but it's possible. So we'll see. Missy Tommy, yes, says I want to see Becky and Stephanie fight at Mania. That's the next rumor for you. Is that? But see, if you do that, then Becky doesn't get her title shot against Rousey. She doesn't get the spot against Rousey. I don't think anyone wants that, but it could happen at another event before then. What about Marty Scurll? Where will he end up? As far as I know, Marty's still with Ring of Honor. He's still with Ring of Honor. He's teasing it all the time. He's got a shirt, and it's My Friends Are Dead. All my friends are dead, I think. And last night during the rally, his Instagram, follow Marty Scurll on Instagram. He's awesome follow, by the way. On his Instagram, he's got the TV or iPad, whatever it is, with the rally, and he's pointing to it with like that, and it says, I see dead people, because all his friends are dead, because they left him. They're dead to him. It's hilarious. I'd love to see him rejoin those guys. I don't know if it's going to happen. Does Owen deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes, a sad tragedy, but he was a man that was lost on character development. Mark, I don't think you're being disrespectful. Yeah, he will be inducted with the group, in my opinion. I think you're right about that. But, dude, listen, what's the criteria for getting in the Hall of Fame? I've said this before, and it bears repeating. What's the criteria for getting in the WWE Hall of Fame? One guy puts you in, Vince McMahon. That's the criteria. There's not a panel. The fans don't get to vote. Pro wrestling writers don't get a say. It's Vince. I believe he should be. Put him in there. Pete Rose, by God, put him in there. It's Vince. It's Vince's Hall of Fame. That's the criteria. We can argue this all day long, but that's it. That's all I got for you. Long as he wants him, he gets in. I'm just saying. Andy says, can't waste Becky on Steph. Yeah, I agree with that also. All right, so real quick before we jump to WWE, you see the shirt? So yours truly and my 10-year-old last Saturday went to see the New Japan show in Charlotte, the Grady Cole Center. Top notch. Top notch all the way up and down the card. I'm going to fly through this real quick so as you can know what's happening. And real quick, I'm going to give you an update on the card. Shibata was there. So cool to see Shibata. He came out and he spoke English. It was very broken English, and he apologized for that. But he was there. He was there during 2 of the matches with the guys from LA Dojo. Real quick, Carl Fredericks and Clark Connors went to a time limit draw. 2 guys from LA Dojo. Very good, by the way. Colt Cabana and local boy John Schuyler. Good on John for making the big time, folks. I love it. Defeated Lance Archer and Shane Taylor. Me and my kid got a photo with Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr. And by the way, they're huge. They're massive. I look like a tiny little man next to them. In fact, I look like a child with a beard. And they're the alpha males. The picture's terrible in terms of, oh my God, look how much bigger they are. It's crazy. Another local boy that made good, Tracer X, local guy here in the Carolinas. Congratulations, Tracer X. Was defeated by the Great O'Karn. Great O'Karn looks good, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's much more polished than he was before. Colt Cabana and Schuyler, as we said, defeated Lance Archer and Shane Taylor. Good match, hard-hitting match. Marty Scurll, as we just talked about, Villain Enterprises and Brody King, defeated Jeff Cobb and Jonathan Gresham. Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeated Alex Coughlin. Alex Coughlin, another LA Dojo recruit. Tracy Williams and David Finlay defeated Rocky Romero and Chucky T. Juice Robinson retained the IWGP United States Championship versus Beretta, and I'm out of breath, baby. It was a good match. It was a good main event. So, Juice stayed after the main event was over, and he circled the entire ring to the barricade and took selfies with every single person that stopped him. He shook hands. He laughed. He was genuine. He cracked jokes. He told a couple of stories. Dude, I was so impressed with Juice. I bet he was outside the ring 40 minutes to an hour after the main event was over, okay? For real. For real. He had enough time to stop sweating and dry up without a towel. You know what I mean? Very impressed with that guy. He shook my kid's hand, shook my hand. Very nice guy. Smile, genuine smile. Nice guy. I said, good match, man. I appreciate you. What else could I say to him? But that was very impressive. Juice come a long way. I'm a fan for sure. Okay, so we got some conversation going on. People talking about Jay Lethal. I don't think Jay Lethal is going to go to WWE. I don't think he needs to. I think at one point was the door open. I would assume so. I don't think he needs to. Someone just compared him to said the Sting of Ring of Honor. Either Jay has made that comparison or other people have for him. But yeah, I've heard one of the two. Maybe I heard it here, but it's a great analogy, fantastic analogy. But yeah, he may not have been with him the whole time, but he's been with him long enough and been loyal enough that you could say that, I believe. So yeah, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. See what else we got going on. Okay, Corey says, here's my stupid idea for the day. Michael Cole and Corey Graves to AEW and bring in Lita and Trish or Beth with Miss Young and have an all-girl Raw broadcast team. If I didn't think that people would throw him to the wolves, I would say you're right. I've never been a fan of Cole. It's no disrespect. The guy's been in the business for a long time, earned a good living, I'm sure. And WWE uses him for a lot of stuff. And he's the voice of WWE, like him or hate him or love him or whatever you want to do to the guy. He is what he is. Having said that, I'm just not a fan. I've never really been a fan of his voice. I've not been a fan of his cadence. I'm not a fan of how he over-enunciates and overpronounces stuff. It drives me nuts. He's such a used car dealer. You know what I'm saying? And by virtue of the job that he has, by the nature of the job that he has, yeah, he has to be that, I suppose. I'm just not a fan. Just my own opinion. Respect to him for what he does, though. I can't take away the hard work that he puts in, for sure. I don't know about Hogan, Jason. I don't care about Hogan, to be honest with you. I'll talk about the guy if I need to, but I got nothing for you on him. Velveteen versus Gargano. What's your prediction? Velveteen Dream's going to get the championship. Yeah, there you go. Should be good. Daniel Bryan retaining at the Chamber. If so, who's his WrestleMania opponent? I think he keeps the belt. Who challenges him at Mania? I think they're sewing some things up. They put Rusev and Nakamura together, so I don't see that splitting up, unless I could be wrong. It does seem like he doesn't really have a challenger right now, doesn't it? Jeff, maybe? I don't know, man. It's a good question. Hogan is too old. A lot of people say that, yeah. Samoa Joe at Mania, WWE champion. Maybe. A lot of people talking about Samoa Joe. Here's the thing. I saw something this week that kind of stuck in my craw just a little. And yes, I'm in the South. I definitely have a craw, okay? Whether I want it or not, I have one. Got to have one here. There's a quota. You got to have at least one craw. I saw Edge and Christian's show recently. It's not the Podcast of Awesomeness. It was whatever they call it. And they're flat out ripping on pro wrestling fans. And they're acting like two nerds. They're wearing Bullet Club t-shirts that have been like digitized so you can't see the logos. And they're behind laptops talking about Samoa Joe's the best they have. They're not doing right by him. He's the greatest. And they're basically ripping on fans and guys like me and guys like you and girls like you who just want to talk about pro wrestling. Here's the thing. We are easy targets on this side of the soapbox time. My apologies. We are easy targets on this side of the curtain. Do you want to know why? We can't do a whole lot to defend ourselves. We can fire back and take it to the gutter and say unprofessional things and crude things, which some of my contemporaries have done, which I think is silly. I think you're lowering yourself to level you don't need to lower yourself to. But I think that I just feel like there's no respect for fans. Not all the fans. I think that they want fans to go, okay, and go with whatever they do and go along with whatever they do and keep their mouth shut. It's 2019. You can't ask people to keep their mouth shut anymore. No more than you could Major League Baseball fans or NBA fans or NFL fans. People are going to have opinions. It doesn't necessarily mean that the fan in question is a bad guy or that he means anything spiteful or wants to go off on the company or the brand or the league. Not all of us are like that, but when they do that, they paint us with such broad strokes, and it's a little disappointing. I expect more. I can tell you one guy for sure, in my opinion, no disrespect meant to Jim Ross, but I've heard Jim's podcast more than once sort of look down his nose at people like me. Oh, keyboard warriors, you're banging away on your keyboard, whoops, in your mom's basement. Okay, that analogy was cute, I guess, at one time, and a zinger. It's not a zinger anymore. Are you trying to hurt my feelings? Because if you think you are, I find it humorous. I'm not taking offense to it because I'm not that guy. I just find it odd that the one time they comment on people like me on what I do, it has to be a comment that's like that. Not every column I write is criticizing a wrestler or a company. A lot of times I write stuff where it's like, this is the best match I've ever seen, or this was a great match, or this guy's making such progress. I love watching him. That doesn't get attention, right? Positivity never gets attention, folks. You guys know that. Criticism, hate, and all that stuff, that's what gets the press. That's what makes the headlines. It's crazy. Daniel versus Orton. Someone just said, you guys are talking about the Hall of Fame. One-man gang. I think one-man gang should go in. Definitely go in as one-man gang. No one WWE would be Akeem. Sorry for the soapbox. I had to get that out there to you because that kind of stuff just drives me insane. I don't even know what I was on before I started talking about that. My apologies. David says, I want Randy to win WWE title at the Chamber. Randy's still going strong, for sure. Craig says, Orton matches 16, Cena's 16 world title reign. They have one final match. Winner beats Flair's record. Craig, I don't hate your idea, but I don't think anyone on the planet wants to see John Cena versus Randy Orton again. Isn't Orton up to 14? Hunter's at 14. Angle's at 14, I think. But you have to count Angle's TNA world titles, and I don't think they're going to do that. Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, man. Yeah, Mark says he's tired of Orton. I mean, that's Orton finds a way to keep himself relevant, doesn't he? He's like that veteran. You kind of forget he's there, but then like when they need someone to, to come in and score the winning shot, like Orton's there. Like he still has it. He still has it. Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, you guys have got me wondering now. Now I have to look this up. Let's see. People listening to this recorded saying, oh my God, he's on the computer. What's wrong with this guy? How many titles does he have? So he is you know what? We may just have to count these things up, shall we? May just have to count these things up. Here we go. Okay, he is a 4-time world champion, a 9-time WWE champion. So that's 13 times. I was thinking he was somewhere along in there. So 13-time champion. There you go. Kurt Angle, I think, I know Hunter's at 14. There's always a chance somebody could get to 16 with John. You know what I mean? So, let's see. Larry says you should buy a TNA when it folds, get the archives. But to be fair, they already have access to the archives. I don't know what kind of a deal that they have in place, but I know for sure they've got some kind of limited access to the archives. My kid just rolled in. My kid's going to come in and say hi. He just got off the bus. Everyone say hello to the boy.
Hello.
Why are you out of breath?
Because I ran up here.
You ran up here? He's wearing his Ishii t-shirt that he wore to New Japan. Coolest shirt ever. Yeah, I'm jealous of that shirt. I may have to buy it for myself. Chaos in the house, yo. How was school, kid?
Good.
Good. We're talking pro wrestling. You got anything to say about it?
No.
Are you sure? You don't want to be on camera? It's crazy. Now you got to cough at me. Allergies. They're a killer. All right. What else we got going on?
I can't wait till the dance at 6 today.
Yeah, he's got to dance tonight. He's going to dance. He's going to, all the honeys are going to be all over him.
No.
He's a player. Don't let him lie to you. So let's see. What else we got going on? WWE talking to TNA about AJ Styles' movie. Ooh. I don't know. That's the first I've heard of it. Interesting take.
I'll watch it.
Will you watch it?
Yeah.
Speaking of titles, WWE needs a TV title. Let me just tell you something. The idea of the World Television title, I've loved it since the days of Jim Crockett Promotions. I love the idea of a World TV title. Don't know if they'll ever do it. You know what I think? I believe when Vince thinks of the TV championship, he sees territory. He sees regional title. He doesn't want anything to do with that. My opinion. So, Corey says, I like Becky, but I hate the man gimmick. I hear that a lot, man. Yes, so Jason just mentioned NXT Japan. The rumor has it that WWE is talking to someone in Japan about establishing the NXT brand over there. Hey, kid. It's going to be an interesting thing because you've got All Japan and you've got New Japan. New Japan we know a lot more about, a lot more exposure, a lot more accessibility, as it were. All Japan, not so much. I'm not suggesting that they've made a deal with All Japan, but I wouldn't be surprised if something's in the works that we don't know about just yet. You think AEW can partner with people, try WWE on for size. With all that cash, yeah. And AEW's got the cash too. Don't forget. Like the Khan family's like worth, how many more times than the McMahon family's worth? It's an insane amount of money. They definitely have cash to throw at this venture for sure. Could be Noah. Yeah, for sure. I've heard that as well. Yes, I do think Reigns will be back. I don't know what the timetable is. He's going to be in Hobbs and Shaw. He looks to be in great shape. So hopefully his recovery is going well. Hopefully he's beating this thing again. All the best to him. I want to see him come back for sure. Craig says that you are Fandango 2.0.
I don't know what that is.
He doesn't know what that means. He doesn't. The reference is lost on him. He doesn't watch this thing full time with me all the time. Debbie, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the show. You too as well. Who's going to win the women's tag titles? I've been saying for months it's Becky and Sasha. I'm sticking with that. But NXT, but not happening. No, I don't see it. New Japan's, and we always talk about Vince doesn't see anyone's competition. Maybe the word competition's wrong when it comes to the stuff for Vince McMahon, but I think that he would look at New Japan as being another player that he doesn't want to affiliate himself with. It's my opinion. Wouldn't it be interesting though? I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for watching. Mark said you're the next bro. Bro. He doesn't know that reference either. He doesn't watch it with me full time. Matt Riddle. Nothing. See? It's cool though. We're going next Saturday to see what? What's the name of the group? Evolve.
Yeah.
Who's going to be there?
Adam Cole, baby.
Did I tell him to say it?
Nope.
Perfect. I love it. We both got Adam Cole t-shirts on the way. I got one. He's got an Undisputed Era t-shirt coming. Because when you go to a show, you got to represent. We bought these at New Japan show, by the way. So there you go. Will Brody be in the Hall of Fame? Talking about Bruiser Brody. The fact that he's not the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame by now is a travesty. He definitely deserves a place. I thought he was in the Hall of Fame. Am I crazy? We can, sure.
We got this.
Yep, that's an autographed picture of the Killer Elite Squad. Pretty cool guys. Like I said, they're huge.
He looks way much different than he used to.
No one said they're throwing billions. No. No one, and no, Anthony, to your point, if anyone is suggesting the Khan family is throwing out everything they have behind this venture, they're not. You're 100% right. They want to see a return on their investment. And it probably won't happen this year. It may not happen for another 2-3 years, to be fair. But yeah, they want to see a return on their investment. It's just good business. I don't think they're throwing every penny they have. It's absolutely not. I'm just saying the resources are there. They can do more. They can maybe get into more places. Just my opinion. But I think it helps for sure. Are the Street Profits still Evolved Tag Team Champs? I think so. Don't quote me on that. Street Profits are supposed to be at the show. So that'll be cool. I enjoy them. I do. I think they are that one... And I don't mean disrespect by this, but WWE tends to, the whole typical African-American street gimmick hustler thing that company seems to be obsessed with for whatever reason. If there's going to be a team that's going to run that, and I don't want to say entertaining, but make it legitimate or at least give you a good time and make you think, God, these guys are good. It's them because they're really good together. And man, are they fun to watch. Very fun to watch. I'm opposed to that kind of gimmick, but I'm the white dude in the room. What do I know, right? For real. There's too many white dudes giving their opinions as it is on African American, a whole lot of other stuff that they know this much about because they don't live that life. I don't know what the truth is about that. I can just tell you my gut reaction on it. Is EC3 the next face of WWE? Not the way they're booking him right now, man, where they're just, making him seem like a clown, like Alexa Bliss is drooling all over him. I mean, they didn't let him talk. He's a good promo. They didn't let him talk. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what they think about him right now. Let's see. War Raiders had a great match on Undisputed Era at TakeOver Phoenix. Top notch. Rude and Gable, pointless tag team champs, need the belts in the Revival and quick. I think they're a good team. I've always liked Rude, and I love Gable.
That's not how you spell what. They spelled W-A-T.
Well, you're right. What are you, the grammar Nazi over here? Listen, people are doing this, and they're, it's misspelling. Things happen. Don't let him fool you. Okay?
Never use auto. It will never give you the right word.
Right. So yeah, Heavy Machinery. Ms. Lopez makes a great point. So Otis is getting over the whole Caterpillar thing, which I saw you guys talking about earlier. They've dropped their last... Huh?
He likes caterpillars?
No, he doesn't like caterpillars. It's a movie, does. It's named after like the like actual heavy machinery, like cranes. It's Caterpillar's a brand. Jeez. Okay, so do you think WWE has too much talent to know what to do with? Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. We've said 100 times here on the show, if we've said it once, WWE collects talent. That's what they do. I got a closet full of comic books. I collected them. Not anymore, but I did at one time. You know what they're doing? They're just sitting there. I love my books, and I'll look at them from time to time and maybe even read some, but they're just sitting there. That's kind of what I attribute to WWE. They've got this huge collection of talent, and a lot of them just sit there with nothing to do. Isn't that silly? So I agree with you on that. So I was talking about Heavy Machinery. They've dropped the last names now. They're just going to be Otis and what's the other guy's name? Oh, I can't remember. Give me the other guy's name of Heavy Machinery. Someone throw it to me. I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? Dropped their last name. So now there's a WWE superstar named Otis. Just Otis. I'm Otis. Ladies and gentlemen, Otis! Is that what we're doing? Is that really what we're doing? Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so you guys haven't brought him up, but I want to talk about him before we go today. I got 2 words for you. Eric Bugenhagen. Dude, fun. That's all I got. Eric's fun.
He looked like Stephen Ogg for a second.
Who?
Stephen Ogg.
Who's Stephen Ogg?
He's the one that played Trevor in GTA.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. You're speaking Greek to me. So, Bugenhagen is a pleasant surprise. They made his name Rick Bogue or Rick Booge at one time. His real name is Eric Bugenhagen. If you haven't watched this episode, latest episode of NXT, go and look it up. Go to YouTube and look up. He came back out and did an encore. You have to see this stuff to believe it. It's goofy, it's silly, it's ridiculous, it's nuts, it's cliche, it's stereotypical, and it is hilarious. It's so much fun. And I'm going to tell you right now, this guy's got something. He's got something. You heard it here first. Maybe not first, but you heard it here on the show. Eric Bugenhagen has got something. For sure. Keep your eyes on him. I give it 6 months, he'll have a championship in that company, if not sooner, on that brand. When he hits the main roster, he's going to be fun to watch. Now, to be fair, we all thought that was going to be other people. We thought Brodus Clay was going to have a better career than what he did. You know, we always thought that other guys with sort of weird gimmicks, sort of out there in their own little world, were going to have something better that they didn't end up with. I could be dead wrong about this, but in the way what I see right now, just from that appearance, he's got something. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. If I tell him to do that, he'll actually try it. I'm not going to tell you. Leo Kruger, yeah, for sure. What was Leo's name? Adam Rose? Adam Rose. We all thought Adam Rose was going to have a better career than what he did. The name was escaping me. Thank you, Danny, for that. Let's see what else we got here. Banks and Bailey versus Trish and Lita. Yeah, I guess. No disrespect to Trish and Lita. I'm kind of over the reunion. I guess that does sound disrespectful. I say no disrespect, and then it sounds disrespectful. I don't mean it that way. I love the novelty of it, but I think maybe it's time to just let it stay where it's at. That's just me talking. Is JB on the Hall of Fame? No. I don't think so. I don't think he is. Is he? Ron Simmons is in, but they didn't go in together. Pretty sure. Let's see. Wishing they would have gave Dean the Stone Cold story arc instead of Lynch and Stephanie. Well, you know, to be fair, let's just call it for what it is, Severin. The Stone Cold arc is Stone Cold's arc. And anytime someone else has tried to do it, it's not always worked out great. It just depends on who you are and what the situation is, but it's not always worked out great. I just prefer to hear a good story and see a good story. It doesn't necessarily have to belong to anyone. I see where you're coming from, but I just want some good storytelling. That's all I'm in this for. So,
how come Dean left?
He's not gone yet. Hear this? It's the same thing I'm getting every 2 seconds. He's not gone yet. Supposedly his contract is up and he will be gone in April, at the end of April, supposedly.
Of course, because he's scared.
Scared of what?
He's scared to fight Seth Rollins.
He's scared to fight Seth Rollins. This is what when did you say this to me last week, I think? Adam Rose is a great talent. WWE really does ruin some great talents because they have so many stars that when these guys become mid-card guys, become bigger outside WWE. Yeah, you have a good point there, for sure. Oh, David, he loved the show. We both had a blast at New Japan. We really did. We really enjoyed the show. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, man. Go to live wrestling. Go to a good show, okay? If you've got guys in your little small town that wear T-shirts and sneakers in the ring and they weigh, 80 pounds, soaking wet with a brick in their pocket, and they hit each other in the head with microwaves and trash cans, maybe don't go to that show. not really pro wrestling. Okay, so you know. But if a good show comes to town, spend your hard-earned money, buy a ticket, take a kid. I firmly recommend it all day long. Let's see. If you're to be in Hall of Fame, you should be at least a Grand Slam champion. I don't know who you're talking about, Mark. Let's see. JBL and Ron are both in, but not together. Oh, okay. So JBL is in the Hall of Fame? Man alive. I missed that, didn't I? Crazy. Yeah. Class of 2015? 2016? 2015. Maybe. Yeah, let's see. Google's a great thing, folks. No, I don't think he is. He inducted Ron Simmons, but I don't think he's in. Crazy. Yeah. That just shows you how big the Hall has gotten over the years, man, where it's like we're blanking out on some big names. Isn't that crazy? Andrew, sure, man. Why not? Yeah, why not? Mark says JBL's definitely in there. Boy, I must have missed something. Miss Lopez says he's not in the Hall of Fame. Man, we got some competing opinions here. All right, we're gonna fix this. You can tell we're wrapping up the show. We're not running out of stuff to talk about, but you know we're doing this right now. Okay, let's see what we got here. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's inducted the Briscoe brothers into the WWE Hall of Fame. He's inducted Ron Simmons, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's not in. There you go. Crazy, huh? Is Cena going to be at Mania? I'd be surprised if he's not in Mania, to be honest with you. I'd be surprised if he's not there. But we said that about Undertaker. Now I don't even know if Taker's going to be there, to be fair. I don't have any idea about that, but I would think that John will be there for sure. I love R-Truth as U.S. champ. I love Truth. Always have been a fan of Truth. Always will be a fan of Truth. I'm totally for it. Hope he keeps the belt for a while. Don't know if he will. I'd love to see him keep it for a while. Let's see. Hey, Davey. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Ray. I'm with you, brother. I love Truth as well. Good stuff. Who's my pick, Severin? Asked for the celebrity inductee for this year's Hall of Fame. I don't know. Is what's his name? Is Jon Stewart in the Hall of Fame? Let's don't all argue about that for the next 10 minutes, shall we? Because I'm not sure. R-Truth is a hard worker and former world heavyweight champion. Let's don't bring that. Let's don't forget that. Cena versus Bryan. That's the rumor. John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. They're going to make out like, oh, there's a history here. You know, he gave Daniel the rub back in the day. I don't know. John gives everyone the rub now. I'm not saying you should put anything above that and say, well, it doesn't mean anything, because it does, but come on. I don't know. If that's the only kind of bit of history or a bit of allure or a bit of connectivity that fans have for this, or that WWE has for that, not the fans, but WWE, you're reaching, in my opinion. I'm not saying they couldn't make it work. Maybe they can. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it. So let's see. Let's see. Tom Clark for the Hall of Fame. Oh, thank you. What Hall of Fame would that be? If it's the Hall of Fame for guys with beards wearing exclusive New Japan Pro Wrestling t-shirt sold only in Charlotte with pop vinyls behind him, I'm your guy. That's a one-man club, man. If there's a two-man club, two-man Hall of Fame from that deal, I have not met the other cat. Okay, it's just me for sure. All right, Sammy going to 205, possibly. Haven't heard anything like that. It's possible. Do you think Vince should sell the WCW stuff? No. Vince be crazy to do that. Keep it. Keep it. All right, man. I think we're coming to the end of this sucker. We've been going for an hour. I'm very glad we got to go live today. I'm very glad we got to do the show. I had to hammer out an episode today. It was very important to me. Thank you for making it important to you as well. We talked about a lot of stuff today. We got a lot more stuff to talk about next week. Thank you, Severin. Listen, once again, if we're not friends on the Facebook, please send me a request or a message in Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger. I always check that page before I sign off after the show here. If there's anyone saying, hey, Tom, send me a request, I'll send you one. I do it all the time. So please do so. Remember, you can find me on WrestlingRumors.net, of course, ProWrestling.com, TheChairShot.com, and also the Sports Daily, the floor seat of the Sports Daily. Remember, my website is BoinkStudios.com, which I need to update. It's tragically behind the times. You can follow me on Twitter at Tom Clark Writes, WRITES. And like I said, let's be friends here on Facebook. That's all I got for you, man. We've got a lot of stuff happening in the next week. WWE, all that good stuff. Yeah, got Evolve Wrestling next Saturday. Can't wait to see that. We've got tickets to go see the Crockett Cup April 27th in Charlotte and Concord. That should be a good show as well. We got SmackDown coming February 26th in Charlotte. That's going to be fun as well. Buying t-shirts like crazy. That's where all my money goes. So there you go. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate it. Mark, have a great one. All right. Thanks, folks. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. That's all we got for you. Anything you want to say? Are you just going to stare?
I'm a frog.
He's a frog. That's the bit of pro wrestling wisdom this kid has for you today, is that he's a frog. Crazy. I'm going to have to advertise this thing as special guest appearance by Wesley Clark, the one and only Wesley Clark. That's all you got? That's all we got, man. We're out of here. We appreciate your business. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.